Hello, good morning, everyone. I am just not too bad, a few minutes late, but here's the reason why. I was sitting in my recliner. I just finished my coffee, and I was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute because I was so sleepy. Um, I did not just close my eyes for a minute. I fell asleep for a little while. And I woke up and I was like, oh no, it's getting close to self care sprint time. And I felt like Rip Van Winkle, even though I didn't sleep for 20 years, I still woke up thinking, what day is it? What's going on? Where am I? That kind of thing. So I suppose I already got in a little bit of unintended self care by taking a quick nap today, but it has been a whirlwind past several days in a good way. I was in Mobile, which for me is about a 40-45 minute drive. So I was there all day Thursday last week, and then all day Friday, and then Laurel's baby shower. I think all of you probably know that my daughter is going to have a little girl due October 10th, my first grandchild. So we had her shower on Saturday. And then my son came in for the weekend to go to the baby shower because it was one of the baby showers that a lot of couples do now, where it was for all the men and the women and everyone else, anybody to come. So it was a lot of fun, but I was stressed because I just wanted everything to be perfect. And it really was. Everything went great. So that was going on Saturday. And then, like I said, my son spent the night over the weekend. So we hung out all day Sunday. And then it was late going to bed Sunday night. And then yesterday I had to get up and get Rena on the bus. We have to wake up at 5 because she goes to a special school in Mobile, so the bus gets here to us very very early. Well, looks like Frere is going to make an appearance. Good morning, Frere. So it's just been hectic, very hectic. And that's still in addition to doing my writing for Substack. I do plan to film YouTube videos this week, at least one anyway. Try to get back into the swing of things now that Rena's back in school. But I am tired, but I'm doing well, So I'm gonna check these comments and see who is here today. Hey, Kat, I'm glad you're here. I've been missing you too. I haven't been able to make it to Wednesday sprints, and then I was gone the past 2 Saturdays, so I couldn't be there for Saturday morning momentum. But I intend to join your sprints tomorrow, Kat, and I intend to be back for Saturday morning momentum this Saturday because I'm missing everybody. A Scholastic Book Fair. I hope you had a good time at the Scholastic Book Fair. First tail tickle my head. Yeah, write the to-do list. Yep, I got mine going. I have not really done anything on mine so far, but that's because I got up and I went to sleep. But I'll get stuff done. It's fine. Konnichiwa, Swank. Bad Poetry Day. Pinot Noir Day, Never Give Up Day. Okay, I like all of those. I don't have any wine at my house right now, believe it or not. I had some vampire wine, but I finished it last night and it's so cute. I put it up there, like I rinsed it out and everything, of course, but I put it up there on my Dracula shelf, which you can't probably really see too well, but there it is. And it's actually got a little cape on it, a little Dracula cape. So I was really happy to have that. And it was good. It was a Cabernet Sauvignon Vampire Blend. I recommend it. I got my bottle at World Market, but it was really good. Bad poetry, I can write that now. And never give up day. I like that too. That can be my motivation. Be everybody's motivations and never give up. And some more good mornings and hellos to everyone. I know it made me think when Kat's talking about being at the Scholastic Book Fair, it took me back to my days where that was like the greatest thing in the world. And I remember like there was a certain like smell, and I know part of it was the new books that you could smell, but also they would have these erasers that like literally had different kinds of smells, and like days of the week pencils, like all the good stuff. Cat, I would have bought books too. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to resist either. Yeah, it's just too, it's too appealing. It's too enticing. Hey, Eleanor, how are you today? Let us know what you're up to. Left out a few happies and more hellos and highs. I love it. Oh no, at work. But I'm glad you could pop in and join us a little bit, Crystal. Even if you are at work, I hope you find time and make time to practice some self-care. And I hope we can bring a little joy your way today. Hey Em. Oh, nice. Yeah, the homeschool year. I think y'all start back at your house after Labor Day. Is that right? Yeah, enjoying those last couple of weeks. I liked to do that too when I was homeschooling my kids, get everything ready like a few weeks ahead of time. So, like you said, that way I would have those last couple of weeks to really just relax and chill out before having to get back into the swing of things again. Yeah, he is. He's a sweetie. I don't know where he went now, dashed out of here, I guess, but he is sweet and very very pretty. And hellos and hi. Oh yeah, sure. On self-care sprints, everybody write excuse me. Everybody write a bad poem and put it in the chat if you feel so inclined. It should be pretty easy to write a bad poem. Yeah, that is it comes back to me now. Hey Kayla, how are you? Let us know what you've been up to. I'm glad you were able to catch it too. I was just saying like I've been missing Cats Wednesday sprint the past week, maybe 2 weeks. What is time? I don't know what it is because I can't keep track of anything. And then I've missed Saturday morning momentum because I've been gone and just things have been hectic. So I'm glad you made it, Kayla, and I'm looking forward to making it back into the rounds of other things myself too. Nice. Yeah, starting September 1st. I think that's a good time to start. Like Rena, like her school system, they went back last week, like August 10th was their first day. And it's so hot here right now, which I think it's hot in a lot of places, even places that shouldn't be hot, in other parts of the world. I think Europe is still going through a heat wave. Um, but like yesterday and today, the highs like 99, but with the heat index, I think yesterday it was like maybe 109, and then today the heat index is going to be 108. Thankfully, we did get some much needed rain yesterday afternoon, which helped. And I think there's about like a 60% chance of rain this afternoon, and I hope we get it because that helps with the heat. But y'all, it's so miserable. And I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he was watching a news show and they were interviewing a I don't know what the exact title would be, but like a climate scientist or a climate expert. And that climate expert was saying that the summer we're having right now may very well be the coolest summer that we're ever going to have again, like in our lifetime. And I thought, just take me out, just take me out now. I hate it. It's horrible. I got off on that tangent, y'all. You get me on a tangent about summer, and I will talk about my hate for summer forever. Some olas and hi and hellos. Oh, cats coming in. Roses are red, violets are blue. Take my advice and don't step into. I love it, cat. I love that's great. So good morning. Some laughs. Oh my gosh. I wish I still had some of the poetry I wrote when I was like 15 or 16, because I'm sure it was pretty bad. Oddly enough, is I hope my latest poem isn't bad. I don't write a lot of poetry. Now at one point I do have a book of poetry that was published. It's been out of print for a long time now though, but for Substack yesterday I actually posted a poem. So I'll link that down in the chat box, and like I said, you can decide whether it's a bad poem or not. Like I said, I hope it's not. If it is, it was not intentionally bad. But I felt a little bit inspired, and that was out of my comfort zone to put that on Substack, because I am an academic, nonfiction writer, but sometimes you branch out. That can be a little precursor to school, right? Hey kids, before we get officially back into school, let's do a little poetry. You can do that with your poetry tea time. Oh, here's another one. Good. The day is bright, the night is dark, my cat poops, and so do you. Are we all going to do like a poop theme? Yes. Yeah. It's the like summer here, we don't ever really enjoy. So I'm used to summer being miserable, but it's extra hot right now. But I know like places that usually can enjoy summers are not even able to do that right now. And so many places in Europe, like I know I've talked about this on here before, like they don't even have air conditioners, so they're not even equipped for this kind of weather. But thankfully, I have air conditioner, which I really don't know how people would survive now in this part of the country without it. But I cannot imagine. I can imagine, let me rephrase that, because when we have hurricanes and we lose power, but we do have a generator, so that way we have like window units and like this big rolling unit, and we just stay in one area of the house so that we can have air. But it's just miserable. It's miserable. And I do actually have reverse seasonal affective disorder, where I get more depressive episodes in the summer. So it's just all around terrible. But I did go ahead and put up all my Halloween stuff on August 1st, like I always do. So I know the weather outside is still saying summer, but inside my house, it's saying fall and Halloween. And that does help me. It really helps me. Like y'all can probably see, like over here, I've even got this fan going. Even like I said, I have air conditioner, but it starts to get so hot that it's hard for the air conditioner to keep up. And then my house was built in like the early 60s. So we have a fairly new like unit as far as the air goes, but still, houses this old don't have as good of insulation and like other stuff. So it can still, the air conditioner can struggle to compete with the heat. So we keep standing fans on and ceiling fans and anything to help try to keep it cooler. Laughing at these poems. Like I said, it seems to be quite a poop theme. It's miserable. It's so miserable, Swank. It's terrible. Oh, yes, let's do, yeah, a haiku. Perfect. Perfect. It's terrible. It's awful, y'all. A heavenly poop feels better than not one. Eat your fiber, kids. 100% agree. That's hilarious. And I just totally agree. Because few things are worse in life than not being able to poop. It's miserable. Fiber is your friend. Yeah, I really haven't written a haiku in a long time, so I would have to think really hard to get back into haiku gear. And yeah, it's miserable, like you're saying, Crystal, when it's so hot you can't really even enjoy going to the pool. Unless maybe you stayed in the water the whole entire time. Uh but it's awful. It's awful. Like I loved summers as a kid, but that I know, and this is not anything profound. It's pretty clear, and other people have talked about it a lot. I think a lot of that was because I was out of school, in the summer, and so I wasn't having to get up and go to school every day. But even as a kid, like I would stay outside all day. I mean, I'm Gen X. I'm 51, so I was back in the day where you go outside in the morning and you come home for lunch and then you go right back outside and then you just had to be back inside before or right when it got dark. And I'm like, this cannot be the same summer heat that I spent outdoors all the time, or even as a teenager, like laying out at the pool or laying out in my backyard. It Which is not good for you. It's not good for your skin. But again, like that was the 80s and 90s. So what did we know? But I cannot imagine that. And I really think it is hotter. Certainly feels hotter. And I'm sure part of that is due to climate change, but also due to my age. You can handle a lot as a kid and a teenager that you can't necessarily handle when you get into middle and older adulthood. But no, you will not catch me laying out in the summer. Yes, good poetry form. No, poo is fine. You know what? Poo is funnier than glue or goo or stew. Now we sound like Dr. Seuss. I prefer poo. How about you? Oh, goodness. I just thought of something like, I don't know if I should say it or not, but I am. But it was like, I was thinking about poo and Dr. Seuss, and there was like, green eggs and ham. I will not eat them there. I will not eat them anywhere. Said you can make it. I will poop here and there. I will poop anywhere. It's all the same to me. Let's go poo poo and pee pee. Sorry. Yes. Perimenopause has a lot to do with it too. Like even before I got to perimenopause and now I'm postmenopausal, I really hated summer, but it is worse. It is definitely worse. Especially too when you start dealing with hot flashes, because I mean you can get a hot flash in the freezing cold in the middle of winter and it's still bad, but it's not as bad as if it's already like 100 degrees and then you're getting a hot flash on top of that. It's just miserable. Prunes in the morning, prune juice at night, hoping when the morning comes, I'll poop and poop. I am sure that if you ate prunes in the morning and drank prune juice at night, you should you should then poop quite prolifically. Oh, nice. That's nice. That you were able to go to the beach and it wasn't too hot. I'm glad you were able to get a break. If you don't mind, you don't have to be super specific, but like if you want to tell us where you are, maybe we'll all come see you, Kayla. Yay. Yes, fall and winter. The problem here is though, in South Alabama, like we will still have a very hot weather in September too, and probably on into October, because even Halloween is a toss up. This past Halloween 2025, it was cold and that was perfect. It's great. Because what Tim and Rena and I do, we sit outside in my front yard and we all dress up like kind of like little matching outfits, and not matching outfits but like theme. Like a couple of years ago I was Morticia and Tim was Gomez and Rena was Wednesday Adams. But last year it was cold and we put out a little we have a little fire pit, and we have it in the front yard, so we're playing the Halloween theme music. My house is decorated, we got stuff in the yard, we go all out for Halloween. And it was so nice last year, because it was cold. But the year before, when we were the Adams family, it was so hot and so humid. And I was wearing extra makeup, a long, black wig, a long black dress, tights, boots. I thought I was going to die. So I hope that we get a cold October and especially a cold Halloween. But you never know. Yep, it did. It gave us a theme, and now there we are. Got some laughs. Everyone poops. Yep. Yes, Halloween is on a Saturday this year, and not only that, the next day, like November 1st, that's daylight savings time change. So that means we get an extra hour of Halloween. So I am super, super excited. I just hope it's cold. Yeah, I just hate that so much. I do. I'm hoping we'll get like surprised, be like, oh, you had such a hot, miserable summer. Maybe the climate and the weather gods and goddesses will smile down on us and give us a cool fall and a cold winter, which would be very pleasing to me. Uh, so let's see. We will go ahead to our first sprint. So it's about 9:30 my time. So we'll come back at a quarter after whatever the next hour may be for you. So I'll put that down on the ticker there. Let me change up one and we will return at 15 minutes after the next one check a couple more comments. We very rarely get snow, so for us, it's like a big, big treat. So I know like people who get too much of it and it's like a problem. I can see why you're like, no, not any more snow. But down here, we're like, oh, yay, snow. Yes, yes. November 1st is the kickoff date for the first annual Nocturnal November. And we will be getting more details out to you all very soon. Oh, we got to do one more. Doth thine belly ache? Perchance a prune you ate. Poopeth you will, my dear. I like that. You got the fancy. That's almost like if Shakespeare wrote a poem about poop. That's the poop sonnets. Yes, a readathon, a watchathon, and to use a term I think Kelsey from Kelsey's Nostalgic Life coined, activity-a-thon. So you'll have opportunities to read, watch, do activities, a combination of all, just one type, whatever you want to do. Very flexible. I'm very excited. If we get one day, it's a surprise for us. The poop sonnets, yes. Hello, everyone. So let me know what you got up to during that self-care sprint. Cleaned out the litter box, made up my bed, and got some Substack writing done. So let me know what you did during that sprint. So I'll hop over here now and check the comments. And so, Kat, I was going to say Crystal, Kat was giving Crystal compliments on her sonnet about poopeth. That said, it was a very Shakespearean type poop poem. And that was my my hopefully not bad poem that I just posted on Substack yesterday. And Swank's coming in with more poop poetry with morning prunes and morning coffee. I had a pleasant pooping experience. Very, very wonderful. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's, it just kind of came to me the other day. I was reading poetry and I happened to come across a Robert Frost poem, "I dwell in a lonely house" or something like that. I can't remember the beginning lines, but talking about dwelling somewhere that's not there anymore. So it just really started making me think about being a child and then being a teenager and that transition from summer to autumn and summer break back into school. So it just had me feeling a bit meditative, and so I just let the poem just pour out of me. Exactly right. Yes. So print those worksheets, get that school prep done, and like you said, then you can kick back and read later. Knock it all out, all the work first thing, and then that's what I try to do. Is like the work I need to do for Substack and like other things that I do for work. I like to end my workday at 2:30 because Brenna gets home from school anywhere between like 3:30 and 4. So I like to have 1 hour before she gets home. And since I do, get up at 5 with her and she's on the bus at 5:45, I have time to get some work done in that time frame. So I like to be done with this work, kind of work at 2:30. So that's a good way to do it, I think. Yoga, stretching, very good self-care. Laundry, yes, I need to wash some blankets today, but I usually try in the summertime to wash early in the morning or like in the evening once the sun goes down instead of having my dryer on in the middle of the day. So I got to do some laundry tonight. Thank you, Kat. Thank you so much. Dishes, very nice. Get those dishes out of the way. Read Google News. I hope there's some good news on it. So Kat updated book spending, put away towels after Luna got her bath, freshly bathed Luna, and transferred laundry from washer to dryer. More laundry. It truly is that never ending chore. And there are only 3 of us in my house now. But still, it's like that laundry, it just piles up. Like yesterday was my bedding, my day to wash the bedding. So I did that yesterday. And today is like blankets, like Rena's blankets. She likes to take a blanket with her to school. And even when she's home, even in the midst of the hot, sweaty summer, she still likes to have a blanket over her. I'm like, I don't know how you do this, but that's what she likes to do. So I'm frequently having to wash her blankets, the ones she takes to school and then the ones she's using here. And I washed laundry day before yesterday. So I should not have to do anything besides blankets today. And tomorrow I may or may not need to do clothes. So like I said, it's always laundry. Towels for the beach, laundry. Yep. Oh goodness. It always, it always accumulates. Yeah, Rena, and her blanket, she likes here at home when she's hanging out in the living room, we have like it's an actual like comforter. She likes to have that big thing at home. So I clearly I don't send a comforter to school with her. Send a blanket, but yeah, she just wants to be all wrapped up, which I'm looking forward to the weather being cold so I can have a blanket and be wrapped up in it, but it's just too hot right now. Because I like the security of having a blanket, for sure. I actually started sleeping with a weighted blanket. It's been several months ago. I never thought I would want one, but I found myself with everything with my mom, being in end stage Parkinson's and not having mental or physical abilities anymore. I was having a whole lot of trouble sleeping at night, even with my prescription to sleeping medicine. And I just felt like I nobody was holding me. And Tim, he will hold me. It's not that he doesn't, I'm just getting y'all all in my business right now. But I just felt like I needed some kind of extra security, something that made me feel safe and just, protected. And so I had an idea because Rena had a weighted blanket that we got it for her, but she never really used it. But it was like a small, like a little kid one. So I thought before I actually buy one, let me go see what I think of it, if I like it or don't like it, because I didn't want to buy one if I was not gonna like the way it felt on me. But I put hers on me and I slept like really well that night. And so I said, you know what, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get like an adult size weighted blanket. And it has been the best thing for me. And it's lightweight. So even in this hot summer, it doesn't make me feel hot when I sleep under it at night. It just makes me feel safe and secure. Oh, a weighted blanket with Rena. Yeah, I think, yeah, you probably typed that before I just was talking about. She didn't care for it, which is strange because she loves to be like confined and all curled up, but it just, I don't know, she didn't like it. Yeah, I can see that. That's what I was afraid that it would feel for me because I'm extremely claustrophobic. So I wasn't sure if I would like it or not, being hot natured and claustrophobic. But I ended up, I looked and I bought one that said it was lightweight and that, it was good for, summer months and stuff like that. And I found one and it's just helped me so much. Yeah, I'm surprised by how much that weighted blanket has helped me. All right, let's see. I think we're to the end of comment. Um, it is just 10:24, but I think for convenience, it'll be a little over 45 minutes, but I think we will just come back at 15 minutes after the next hour. So it's a little more than 45 minutes. Maybe you can get a little extra self care in there. So I will go ahead and put that banner up. And I will see you all in a little over 45 minutes. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Let us know what you got up to during that sprint. So, I did some writing and I'm also working on some Instagram content right now, too. And I made myself some tea. And this is dry eye tea. And I'm trying to remember, I can't remember the name of it. Wait, I think it's like Bay Revel, but it's got blueberry and orange and cinnamon flavors. It is very, very good. I think it's one of my favorites that I've had. And I've liked everything from dry eye tea so far, but I'm pretty sure this is going to go right up there on my favorites. It's really good. So I highly recommend dry eye tea. And I learned about those from Stina, who visits us sometimes during sprints with the handle Skeleton Key Books. So I will always be grateful to Stina for turning me on to dry eye tea. Excuse me. Maybe I need, oh goodness, hold that thought. Let me get some more tea. Whew. Okay. So let's see. Let me check these comments. So when we were leaving, Swank talked about how she loves soft, fluffy blankets, and I agree that I love them too during the cold weather. And I cannot wait to be curled up in my comfy chair with my book, a blanket, and then either a pumpkin spice latte or when we shift into winter, a gingerbread latte. I cannot wait. That is fun, Crystal. I understand. I'm glad you finished your audiobook. So, We Do Not Part by Han Kang. Just amazing. You're adding more and more books to my already toppling TBR, but I appreciate it. I love getting more books added. It's always good to have books to look forward to. Did Han Kang, is that the same author of The Vegetarian? I haven't read that one yet either, but it is one I want to read. I think it's the same author. You can let me know. Hello, Umesh. It's good to see you. I'm glad you were able to join today from your region of the world. I'm glad to see you pop in for a bit. I hope you're doing well. Let us know what you've been up to. You're still printing. You know what? I say go for that third cup of coffee. School prep you need all the extra help you can get. Oh, I loved when my kids were younger and we did lap books. Those are so much fun and they learn so much and they can be so creative. I love that. Now you're making me kind of sad that I don't have any homeschool babies now. One of them is about to have her own baby, and the other one is has recently turned 23. So I do miss those homeschooling days sometimes. Swank kept on reading some more news. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Cleaning up the kitchen, dresser area, reading pages from 3 different books. I understand. I've got one audiobook that I'm listening to right now, and I'm kind of sad because I was listening to the audiobook for Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang, and I've made it about 20% in, and I was just struggling. I just could not really get into it. And so I decided just to stop listening for a while. Not forever. I feel like I'm going to pick it back up, but I just feel like this may not be the season in life for me to grasp onto it. It has a lot to do with the art world. And so I'm not super familiar with the art world, but the concept is intriguing. And I did like her previous book, Natural Beauty. So I feel like this just may not be the time because I do have so much like going on in my brain right now. So I decided to revisit Stephen King. That is something I do when I feel overwhelmed with life or like I'm having trouble focusing. I know I can always go back to Stephen King. And so a while back, I wanted to just go ahead and put on hold on Libby several of King's audiobooks, books that I've read before, and just kind of wait for those holes to come in. And it just so happened that my hole for Christine came in. So I started listening to Christine. It was either yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And I am very much into it. I read it for the first time when I was 15. That was the second King book I read. The first King book I read was Pet Sematary when I was 14. And then when I turned 15, I'm pretty sure I had turned 15 by the time I read Christine. And so this is my first time to read Christine since I was 15. So I'm excited to see what I think of it. And then physical book wise, I'm slowly making my way through Why I Love Horror. And that's edited by Becky Spratford, but it's different horror authors writing short essays about why they love horror. So I'm reading a few of those. And then last night I started reading The Caretaker by Marcus Klewer because I loved We Used to Live Here. And I am enjoying The Caretaker so far. I'm not too far into it, but there was already one line in like the prologue that gave me like a chill, like that creepy kind of chill. So that doesn't happen for me too often. It takes a lot to like give me that kind of scare, but it was just very eerie and unsettling. So I'm excited and I like it so far. So that was very long-winded in my response to Alicia reading from 3 different books. But I was just saying, I feel you there, Alicia. I got a lot of books on the go too. Ooh, brunch. That sounds so good. Let us know what you're going to be making, Swank. And some hellos and hi. And hellos. Another cup of coffee. Yes. Folded and put away clothes. And very nice. Look at you. You folded and you put away clothes. Gold star. Also listen to A Chapter Trial by Fire by J.A. Jance. Are you enjoying that, Kat? Hey, Matthew. It is great to see you here today. Let us know what you are up to. Hope you're having a good day so far. Very nice. Eleanor did skincare. Ooh, a pumpkin enzyme mask. Ooh, I bet that does smell great. All the pumpkin things. It's so close. I did. I went ahead. I made some homemade pumpkin coffee creamer, pumpkin spice coffee creamer. I don't usually do that, but I had gotten some pumpkin puree to make this recipe that I found on Instagram last week. And I put the remainder of the pumpkin puree in the fridge. So I made some homemade creamer with it. And I still got some more pumpkin puree. So I need to do something else with it too. But what I had made with it last week was, I forgot the exact name of it, but it's something like Hawaiian roll, pumpkin spice French toast. But anyway, you get like the King's Hawaiian sweet rolls and you cut them in thirds and then you dip them in batter, which the batter was like eggs, milk, pumpkin puree. I don't remember if it was pumpkin pie spice or if it was you put cinnamon, cloves, whatever, but anyway, you put the right kind of spices in it. And then something else. I don't know, something else to sweeten it with. And then you dip, you do that, and then you dip your Hawaiian rolls in there like you would the bread for French toast. And then you make, put it in the skillet and you make your French toast, and then you sprinkle powdered sugar on it, and then you serve it with maple syrup. Oh, it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So I highly, highly recommend, if you like pumpkin spice and you like French toast, you should make it. Absolutely. Yes, yes. I've gotten pumpkin spice like from store bought the other day, and so lots of pumpkin spice. It just makes me so happy when I see it start coming out. Okay, same author. Did you read The Vegetarian? I think you did. I think I remember you reading that one too. I need to pick up both of those. And hellos and highs. Mental note, pumpkin spice creamer. Yes. Very exciting time. Lunchtime. Yummy. What are you having? Let us know. Ooh, white chocolate raspberry. That sounds good too. So exciting. So exciting, Alicia. Almost finished with your library project. Clean up the room. Add the fairy lights. Yes. Fairy lights make such a nice touch. I cannot wait to see the finished product. It's so exciting. Yes, that transition 4 to 2, it was so weird because my oldest, she stayed in public school the whole time, because a lot of the time when she was in school, I was still teaching public school too. And then I homeschool my middle two, and then my youngest, Renna, she goes to the special school. But it was strange going from two homeschoolers to then just one. It is so strange when our kids like grow up, and it's hard to process how quickly it all happens, but it does. It goes by so fast. And Kat is also excited about the library. Yeah, I just love to see people's home libraries. It makes me very excited. Yes, they are definitely my comfort reads. He is one of my comfort authors, and I've said this before, when I sit down to either, physically read one of his books or watch an adaptation of his book or listen to an audiobook, I feel like I am sitting down chatting with a friend. I feel like, he knows me, but he really doesn't know me at all. But I know him in a non-creepy parasocial kind of way. The closest I've ever gotten to having, any sort of acknowledgement from anybody closely related to him, when I posted a picture of King Sorrow by Joe Hill, who I'm sure all of you know, that's Stephen King's son. So I posted a photo on Threads and said that I was glad I was finally reading King Sorrow, that I had waited because it had been, so hyped up. I was a little nervous that I wouldn't like it, but that it was definitely, not just living up to the hype, but exceeding it. And I was finding it hard to put down. Joe Hill himself commented on it. So I was like fangirling. I took a screenshot, of it. So I'll always have it. But I was like, I didn't want to be like, hey, tell your dad I said hi, and tell him I wrote my thesis on 4 of his women characters. So I did not do any of that. I did admit though, I commented after Joe commented and said, well, excuse me while I go fangirl now. So, and I have been in front of his house in Maine. I've been to Bangor, and I've been to the Thomas Hill Standpipe, and I sat on the bench where he wrote parts of it. And I've been to the Barrens, and I've been to the houses that inspired him. I've seen the big Paul Bunyan statue. Like I said, I've been very close, but I've never spoken with him either online or in person, but maybe one day. That is my dream. Kat, I know you share that dream. Next time you see him, you'll have to speak to him, Kat. See, I don't think I've ever tried that, but I know Swank has mentioned it before, and then I forget, every time to get some and try it, but it does sound so good. Okay, I thought you had read The Vegetarian and enjoyed that. Right? I mean, it's just like, I know they're just people, but they're like people, Right, I know. I know. Definitely, I definitely would not be Annie Wilkes. Never, never. I am a huge Stephen King fan, but I am not his number one fan, right? Not like that. Not like that. I'm also not a nurse. Now my husband is, but I'm not. So right. I remember, yeah, Kat, you said you had been in his presence. Yeah. I do feel like if I actually was, able to speak to him, I'm afraid that I really would say nothing or just be like, you're Stephen King, or, something totally embarrassing. Kat, that's what we need to do because I have been dying to get back to Bangor. It's so beautiful there. And then it's not too far from Acadia National Park. So when Tim and I went, we actually stayed in Herman on Herman Pond, which is right by Bangor. And I was reading, I don't have it in here with me now, but I just finished the book Monsters in the Archives by Carolyn Biggs. She is the English or the literature chair department at the University of Maine, the Stephen E. King literature chair or whatever. And so she met with King and he gave her access to his archives, which are housed in his home in Bangor, even though he really doesn't live there now, but the archives are there. So she got to go in and like look at his typed manuscripts. And she talks about in the book, she looked at Carrie, Salem's Lot, Pet Cemetery, and Night Shift. And she was speaking with him and he was talking about when they lived like in a little trailer before he made it big, and he said that they were on top of Herman Mountain and the winds were blowing and it was always so cold. And I was like, because when we went to Bangor, like I said, we stayed at this an Airbnb on Herman Pond, and you could see across the pond this mountain. Well, I didn't know at the time, that I was there that he had lived on that mountain. And so I read that part, and then I looked at Tim. I said, "This says this," and he's like, "That's that mountain we saw when we were on Herman Pond." I said, I got to get back there. I got to get back there. I just loved it so much. And Acadia National Park is just the most beautiful place I've ever seen in real life. It was just stunning. I would move to Maine if I could get Tim out of Alabama. I would love to live in Maine. So all of that, I'm very chatty today. Sorry, y'all. But all of that to say, Kat, if you and Barry go, Tim and I are going to go too. We should all just go. Everybody, a big trip to Maine. Let's do it. Two-star. I know. I feel like I would be too. Oh my goodness, Swank. I would be the same with Elvira. Yeah, I would struggle to form anything coherent. It's, it's like, they're just people, but then they're like, no, this isn't just a regular person. Oh, I love that. That's on my bucket list, Kat, to go see go to the Stanley Hotel. I would love it. Yeah, that's so cool, to be like, oh, here's where he stayed and here's where he, got the inspiration for The Shining. It was fascinating to me too to be in Bangor and pass by the sewer area. Well, where the little grates here, and our guide is like, this is where he was walking when he started thinking, about Pennywise and how kind of like a troll under the bridge, except it's a clown down in the sewer, and just all of the different places. It was just like, it was just an amazing experience. And I would be the same way if I was like, oh, it's the Stanley Hotel. It is very cool. Yes. It's funny because just my Stephen King self this morning, while I was drinking my coffee, I was watching, I've watched it before, but it's like a documentary, King on Screen. And they talked about both Stanley Kubrick's movie and then the TV miniseries and how different they were, how the movie's so different from the actual novel, but that, the miniseries, since Stephen King wrote that screenplay, it's a much closer adaptation of the novel. See, there's another road trip, right? We'll take one time we should all just crash Bangor, Maine, and then another time crash the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. We'll get a big group rate, right? Maybe we can get a group discount. Yes, and I know some people didn't like the series, the mini series, but I mean, I liked it for what it was, and I liked that it was faithful to the novel. And I do like Stanley Kubrick's movie. It to me is not, it's not really an adaptation of the novel. It's its own thing, but I actually do like it too. And I think it's interesting that fire, and like, not to give spoilers, even though these are all pretty old things, but in case somebody hadn't read or watched, fire is the main element in the novel, and ice and cold, ness is the main, which, not that the ice and the cold aren't an element in the novel. Certainly they are, because they're staying there for an entire, winter. But as far as like themes go and the eventual conclusion, and I think it's interesting too because Stanley Kubrick is more cold, less emotional, more intellectual type of, a creator. And then Stephen King is more warmth and character development. And Jack is so different in both. But now I'm blabbing like we're having a Stephen King discussion, and this is self care sprint. So I will stop now. Y'all just might have to put in the chat, hey, hey, why are you blabbing so much today? Yes, I want to go so much. And I would hope to see a ghost. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but I wouldn't say that there definitely are not, because I know some people who I trust deeply who say that they have seen ghosts. And even though I haven't seen a ghost, I'm not going to say for sure there's not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to discredit somebody else's experience if they're a valid, trustworthy person. Yes, the road trip. Yes, that little kid playing Danny. Yeah, he got that's, I know that's mean, but what's his name? Cortland Mead. He annoyed me. He annoyed me too. And I love I think Danny Lloyd, isn't that the name of the actor who plays Danny in the miniseries. I mean, in the actual movie adaptation, I think it is, and he does a really good job. That's yeah, I used to do the same thing, Kat. Yeah, Kubrick's as a separate kind of entity from the novel. 259 for a room at the Stanley. You know, that's really not bad. I thought it might be higher than that. But that's really not a bad deal at all. Just I know. I know it's terrible, but I agree. I agree. I know he's not a kid anymore, so you know what? We can say what we want to say now. Some people, this is so mean, but some people just have like a punchable face, and I would never ever obviously, punch probably anyone. I mean, depending, I might punch a man if he needed it, which sometimes they do. But some people just have that punchable face. It's terrible. Then I know, right? We are so bad. Yeah, don't expect high quality everything, but do expect a more faithful, like you said, and it's just more faithful to the novel. So if anybody's here and they haven't watched it, it's not going to be on the same heights as Kubrick's movie, but it is a good adaptation of the novel. I can imagine. Yeah, ghostly feeling in Gettysburg. That makes sense. Because to me, like if somewhere is going to be haunted, whether it's ghosts or just like energy of a place, I can certainly see Gettysburg being that. A Fox Mulder, I want to believe. Yeah, yes, I am much more that type. For sure. He does have a see. Thank you, Kat. See, kindred spirits. Even when we're talking about punchable faces. Terrible. Yeah, check it out. I'm not sure if it's just I can't even talk streaming anywhere now where you wouldn't have to like pay extra for it, but maybe it is. It's good. And bonus, Rebecca De Mornay plays Wendy, and so I like Rebecca De Mornay. She's great. Steven Weber plays Jack. I think he makes a good Jack. I really do. Yeah, the funky Danny. Yeah. Yeah. If you can kind of get past that actor, yeah, you'll be all right. But it's true sometimes. And like if somebody's a real like I don't know anything about this Portland Mead. I don't know what he's like as an adult. He may be great and fine, so I don't know. But it makes, if somebody is like a real ass or something, and then they have a punchable face, I feel fine about that. Not that I would do, I'm not going to just go up and punch them. But if somebody's like real nice and friendly and they're just a wonderful person, but they still have that kind of face, then I feel sad. I'm just letting y'all in on all my little secret thoughts. See, now I'm get myself in trouble on here. Yeah, it's just a comment, right? We certainly aren't advocating for any violence. Yep, Kat was talking about Steven Weber, Rebecca De Mornay. You bought okay DVD. I will check when we go on this last sprint. Oh, you know what? I don't think we're gonna have another sprint because I typically end at noon and it's a quarter till, so maybe we'll just chat until about 12. Okay, so Swank said it's on YouTube. Okay, well, there you go. I know, right? He may. Now you've got me kind of wanting to see if I can see what he looks like as an adult. So y'all let me know. Do y'all want to do another just like a 30-minute sprint, or do you want to just exit now? Let me know. We've been chatty today, and I feel like it's my fault. So I could do a 30-minute sprint, or we can go. It's whatever you all feel like doing. Let's see. Oh no, that's gonna be my new reputation. She's like Annie Wilkes, and she punches children. Of course, Annie Wilkes did something much worse. Not just to Paul Sheldon, but she also was a nurse with the infants, and so yeah, she's even worse. Laughing. The series on Tubi. Oh, hey, well, if it's also streaming on Tubi, that's a free service too. Which, if you don't have Tubi, definitely you should get it because it's free. You'll have to deal with a lot of ads, but here's the thing: my Netflix has ads, my Amazon has ads because I'm not paying more to avoid ads. So ads don't really bother me. I mean, I am Gen X. We certainly grew up with plenty of ads. Yeah, it is a fun watch. It is. If you like the novel, you'll probably like it. You have fun, Kat. Have a nice lunch, and I hope you enjoy Spider Man. And Swank said, "Yep, on Tubi." Now it's kind of made me want to go watch it again. Still at work? All right. 30 minutes is cool. Okay. Done printing. Yay! You got it, Em. Thank you for being here. And I do agree, Kat. Chatting is self care. And y'all have definitely added joy to my life. And talking with your community. So we can do another 30 minutes. If you have to go, that's fine. We'll just go a little bit past 12 today, but I don't have anything that I have to do today besides the writing that I'm doing. So I can certainly do that while we're on our 30 minutes. So I will put up that banner for us to come back. And let's see, it's about 11:50, so we'll come back at 20 after the next hour. Hello, everybody. 30 minutes goes by so super quick. Um, Goodness. Well, thank you all for joining me for self care sprints today. I know we did a lot of chatting, but I had a good time talking with you all. I hope you all had a good time with our chatty bits too. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And be sure to check out Kat's channel on Saturday morning for Saturday Morning Momentum. I'm excited to be back with my crew this Saturday. And then I will see you next Tuesday here for Self Care Sprints. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Em. I'm so glad you were able to make it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day now that you got school stuff done. If you're catching us on the replay, thank you for watching, and be sure to leave in the comments what you got up to during self-care sprint. I just want to say I appreciate all of you and I love you all. And I will see you again soon. Bye.